towards your dream of 15 minutes of fame on Jeopardy. So step 1, take the online quiz. It is 50 questions, and they're auto-advancing every 15 seconds. Sound familiar? Yeah. And it's only offered once a year, so you have to make sure you keep your eye out because you have to pre-register. Then get really, really lucky because they don't tell you what score is passing, so you don't know how you did, and even if you pass, that's not a guarantee because they pick you through a lottery system to move on to the next step, which is a live audition. Oh. This is one of the producers, Glenn. He's super nice. So you get invited to the live audition. It's usually in a hotel. Then you go to the hotel. They sit you down in a ballroom with a whole bunch of other people. Then you take another quiz. Yeah. This one is pen and paper, but it's the same thing. 50 questions. But this time, auto-advancing every 8 seconds. So you better be prepared. Then they go and they grade the test immediately. And after that, they give a live mock Jeopardy session. So they call you up 3 at a time to the front with fake buzzers. And the producers are asking you questions from the board on the screen. And you have to practice projecting your voice. And then the last part is story time, where the interviewers have told you to write up some questions and some stories from your life, like the interplay that you would have with Alex Trebek, and then you have to tell that story to a whole bunch of strangers and be really interesting. After that, you have to get lucky again because they don't tell you how you did on your test and they don't tell you how you did on your interview. They say anytime between the live audition and 18 months from then, you could get the call. So when you get the call, you travel to this beautiful DoubleTree in Culver City, California. And that's a taping site. So I decided to go up the day before because the next day, which is the taping day, you have to get up fucking early. The shuttle picks you up at 7:15 a.m. and your hair must be TV ready. Okay, you have to have on a super cute outfit and bring 2 changes of clothes just in case you win. So, the pre-show prep, once you get there, they isolate you in this room with all the other contestants. No phone, no internet, nothing. You have some snacks and 2 private bathrooms, which is really nice. Then they go over the rules, a non-disclosure agreement, prize money issues, blah, blah, blah. Then you get called by this lovely woman and her colleague to get your makeup done. Super nice. And then there's story time 2.0. So you practice those stories that you initially told the producers at your live audition to hone them. And then you get to rehearse. So this is the actual sound stage. You get up there, they check the podium that raises you up or down. They do sound checks with the mic. You get to practice more with the buzzer, which is super valuable because it's freaking scary up there. And then it's taping time before you know it. So first step, do not look at anyone in the audience. This is for real because they will definitely disqualify you if you're cheating with like your family members. So you watch in a separate audience section. And then when it's go time, don't pee yourself. I was basically like this because the lights are super bright. So that was really scary. And before you know it, it's over. It's like a blink of an eye and it's over. And the adrenaline crash is real, you guys. I pretty much like almost fell on the floor and was shaking afterwards. Michael can tell you. And then I got super hungry. So then step 12 is to wait for your show to air without giving anything away because you signed that non-disclosure agreement. Otherwise, they won't give you your money. So that's a really hard part, was just trying to say, just watch. Have a viewing party because, you know, you have to suck up all the fame that you can get. You only get that 15 minutes. It's really fun to have a super relaxed viewing party at home. And the last step, enjoy your brief 15 minutes of fame and then fade back into real life because seriously, Jeopardy withdrawal is for real. I missed it so much afterwards and I had so many regrets, but that's life. So that's it. Any questions? It worked. Yay.
How long do you want me to play this?
Oh, it'll end up 30 seconds. It's 30 seconds, by the way. Exactly. This thing.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah.
So, does anyone have questions for our Jeopardy players?
What?
Yes.
That was your final Jeopardy bet?
Yeah.
Was it right?
No. I made up a country because I had no idea.
Wait, what was the question?
What was the
Okay,
answer?
the category was Western Hemisphere flags, first of all.
That's
So
broad.
FML, right? Because I didn't study flags at all. And then it was this country, also the name of a religious sect or religious order, has a Bible on the flag.
What? Sorry.
Anyone know it? Anyone know it?
I was thinking Argentina, but you said what?
Oh,
so
God,
not.
no.
The Dominican Republic.
Unless you're an ancient
And
Egyptian.
if you look on the flag, the Bible is this small.
Where? Sorry.
Dominican Republic.
Oh,
Yeah.
They have a lot of other stuff on the flag too.
Yes, they do.
You just said something about not studying flags. How do you study for Jeopardy?
Uh,
That was
So
so
that's
any
a
of the
good-
steps, by the way.
yeah.
Mhm.
I
Well, I couldn't fit everything in, but they don't tell you anything. They don't tell you what to study. They don't give you any clues. So
You just have to know everything in the world?
pretty much, I looked at. There's an archive online, and I can forward this in the email. It's called J Archive. And somebody has archived every single show, all the
Oh my
questions, all of the answers, all the bets, everything. And so you could go through and see like what types of categories have been asked in the past, and what types of questions and things like that. So I focused on the areas that I felt I was weak in. So I didn't study science. I didn't study biology. I didn't study like literature. I studied like art, history, and opera, and geography, stuff like that. So
Did you study like right up until before you went on the show? Was it like
Yes.
like it was
well,
like a
because
test?
I didn't know it could be
Yeah.
18 months from my
Yeah.
live audition. So after my live audition, I decided to go and just study randomly. And so my lovely husband Michael, and we started going to pub trivia, and that kind of helped start the juices. And then I would just study random trivia that I would find, or like the J Archive. I studied that a lot. And then I did quizzes online. So
So when you first were notified that you could go to the DoubleTree Hotel, how much time ahead did you have? And then if you had some sort of conflict, did that mean that was it?
Yeah.
You were done?
So luckily, I was actually called as an alternate because I lived in San Diego at the time, and Culver City is just in LA. So they call like the more local people as alternates. So they called me probably about a month in advance of the taping day, and there was no guarantee that I was going to go on. So one thing I didn't get to talk about is that they pick, I wrote it on the slide, but they pick the contestants right before the taping. So they tape 5 shows a day, and so they only know the returning champion, and the next 2 are out of the pool of all contestants. The producers pick 2 out of a hat. It's random.
Whoa.
So you don't know when you could go on. And then the alternates, they save that till the very end in case someone gets sick or has to leave for some reason. Then both alternates would go on. But then if not, then only one alternate gets to go. And so at the end, I had to sit through all 4 shows before the last one. And then it was me and the other alternate. And we were like, okay, who's it going to be? And then it was me. So, yeah.
So the other alternate didn't get to go at all?
No, not that day. She got called back another day. So what happens if you're an alternate, you don't get to go, then the next time you get called, then they promise that you will go on.
So you said 2 changes of clothes in case you win. So
Yes.
like if you win the first show and you win,
Then you go and change clothes and they come
and
back.
have to do it all again
Yeah.
the same day.
In the same day.
That's not fair.
You get like 20 minutes for them to reset.
Because it's supposed to look like it's not the same day.
Yeah,
So you
it's not
have to
it
come back
is the same day. Yeah.
Oh my
They
God.
they
Oh my
shoot a week
God.
at a time. Yeah.
Wow.
It's a lie. TV's a lie.
Did you bond with your co-contestants?
Oh, I totally did.
You
Yes.
guys keep in touch?
Yeah, there's a big Facebook community on Jeopardy, and so they have post Jeopardy contestants who form a group, and then there were a couple people that I kind of still message occasionally. I mean, I'm not on Facebook right now because of other reasons, but there were a couple people that I really liked, and we actually really bonded. As a group, I felt it was really supportive. And because we didn't know who exactly we were going to go up against, I felt like that was really conducive to like a very much camaraderie. Like, everyone do your best. You know, it wasn't like cutthroat or anything. So, that's it.
I'm like really curious about the DoubleTree location. Like, has it always been there?
It's
And,
always
like,
there for
and,
some
like,
reason.
Where and like is it feel like a TV studio?
No, it's, well, the taping's not there. It's like the closest hotel, I think, to the actual studio.
Oh, okay.
So that's why they chose it, probably.
Got it.
Yeah. But speaking to other people, it's always at the DoubleTree. Yeah.
How's Alex?
He is a diva, actually. He's a big diva, yeah. So you get to invite 6 people to the audience, and so my parents were there, Michael was there, and then a couple friends. My father made the mistake of asking him a question that he didn't really like, and so he made a big stink about it. So he basically asked, my father asked about, did the previous host, which I didn't know there was a previous host before Alex Trebek, but did the previous host give you any advice, Alex, when you took over? And he got all snotty. Well, actually,
That's a great question.
yes. Apparently, though, the previous host was a little bit upset because there was like a year gap between when the show first started and then when Alex Trebek started it again, like to take over. And so apparently there was some bad blood between them because the previous host, I forget his name, thought that he would be asked again, but they chose Alex instead. And so, but Alex was like, well, he didn't give me a call, and blah, blah, blah. And this is in front of like the whole audience.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah, he was a jerk.
Yeah, he was a total.
No, so the show is also taped in real time. So it's like, so they do the questions, do a round, and then they stop. They take a break for exactly the length of a commercial break. So it's like taped in real time. And during the commercial break, they'll have say, "Oh, hey Alex, this line that you said was kind of messed up. Can you just say it again?" And they'll just like edit it in, have him say it again. And there were a couple of times where like, "Oh, Alex, can you re-say this line?" It's like, "No, I did that one perfectly. Get the fuck out of here." But he was like, "No, I'm not gonna do it."
Yeah, he basically said that. And
Wow.
Joel.
Did you, when you decided you were going to go for this, did you find out how other people's strategies were to end up on the show? Did you read books about it?
I didn't read any books, but there are a couple of like blogs online that talked about it, and people with like strategies. Like, for instance, like how to hold your buzzer. That was a big thing for me. Because, no, like buzzer strategy is for real because you cannot buzz in before Alex finishes talking or else you get timed out for, I think it's like 1.5 seconds or something. And so if you buzz too early, then you get shut out, but then if you buzz too late, then you don't get it. So there's a lot of strategy of like how to hold the buzzer. And then like when to actually buzz. So it was like, that was the thing. And then I also studied about how to wager for the final Jeopardy, but then I threw all of that out the window when it finally came up because I was like, fuck it!
So, is this the first time you qualified for Jeopardy? And if you qualified for another time, tell us about that.
I did qualify, or I got called for College Jeopardy, but it was on the day, the audition was for the day that we were starting orientation freshman year, so I did not go.
But was the qualifying and everything, like the online test, was it the same?
Or, I mean,
as regular Jeopardy, because you did college.
Yeah, no, it's different, I think.
Okay.
The knowledge base is definitely different for each of the different ones. You know.
I already asked.
Oh, okay, sure.
What was your funny story that you told?
So I'm the good twin, and my sister is the evil twin, and there's video evidence of that. When we were 2 years old, there's a home video of me playing in an open suitcase, and I'm having a great time, you know, laughing, whatever. And my sister comes along, and she sees that I'm having a good time without her, and so because I'm having a good time without her, she goes and she lifts the lid of the suitcase and slams it on top of my head, and I'm crying and everything, and then the video cuts to my parents have rescued me, and then I'm still in the suitcase, but the lid now has like a heavy bag on top. She comes around again and tries to lift it, but she can't because it's too heavy for her. So not once but twice she tried to kill me. So.
Do you remember any of the questions from?
Oh yeah,
I'm sure you
of course.
Can you share some of them?
Hang on.
Screwed you.
Before you go there, was that video shown while you were telling that story?
No, they don't go that into detail. You only have like a small amount of time.
But your sister was in the audience.
Yes, she wasn't because she was in New York City.
Oh.
But she's here's another thing. So the stories they hone you have 5 different stories that you give the producers, and you practice 3 that they think that would be potentially good ones. And then during your rehearsal time, you rehearse them with the producer, and then they star the one that you would like to tell, but then said, we give this on a card to Alex, but he can do whatever the fuck he wants. He's Alex Trebek. So he could pick the one with the star, he could pick another one, or he could ask you about something completely unrelated.
Wow.
So
Oh my god.
it's kind of scary seeing him come towards you and you're just like, what's he gonna talk
A quick
about?
interjection. I heard from somebody else that the line they were given if Alex goes off, like if he gets the cards mixed up and asks you about a card that's not yours, is you're just supposed to say, "That's right, Alex."
Yeah.
Is that true?
Exactly right.
Wow.
Super diva.
That's right.
If he just says some random shit that you have no idea, you just say, "That's right, Alex."
I thought this was like a
Right?
I was
People bullshitting.
It's great.
Any other
This is not,
questions?
so that's not covered.
That's really
Your personal impressions of Alex Trebek are not covered by the NDA.
No, of course
Okay.
not. It's just that I couldn't tell the results of this show or the questions before it aired.
Has this affected your relationship with trivia?
Oh yeah. I don't know. I love it even more.
That's right, Preston.
That's right.
That's right. What's the best pub trivia around here?
I don't know. I
Oh,
haven't found
you
any
have a
different.
favorite?
Yeah.
It's not
Nothing.
the same.
Nothing lives up to
It's
it.
not the same.
It's not the
Okay.
same.
Spoiled.
Renata's question
Tell
that I
us
enjoyed.
some
yeah.
of your questions.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I'm really pissed that I got. So there was an Avengers category that
It was the first one.
the first round that I got. They framed it in such the way that I didn't know if they wanted the Avengers name or the actor's name, and so I gave the Avengers name on the first one. And Alex said I was wrong because they were looking for the actor's name, and so that threw me off for the rest of the category, and so I got like really bummed out. But then they gave me like the money back at the break, so that was nice.
Oh, that's cool.
But it threw me off.
They admit
It
they
threw
got
me
wrong.
off.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
So
You won the metagame.
yeah. The answer was Iron Man or Robert Downey Jr. But anyways, yeah, there's a whole category on Woodstock.
Like the
Uh-huh.
character?
No. The music festival. I got 2 of those. Like one, they asked about Jimi Hendrix. The clue had something to do with the Stars and Stripes, which, and then another one was this woman with the big voice. Something, it was Janis Joplin. There's so many eclectic ones. It's hard to like. There's one on fashion. Louis Vuitton was the answer.
There's a Canada.
Oh yeah, there's a Canada category. Yeah.
Oh no.
Well, which everyone knows to study for because Alex Trebek is Canadian, so you have to study Canada stuff.
Last question.
Was there a category that like totally threw you?
Oh yeah.
Or just like nothing?
House speakers of the house.
Oh,
I was like, no way, no way.
Just speakers of the house.
Yeah, like through history, and I was like, nope, I'm done. And the thing is about horses and being a vet. I was so pissed because the show right before that, the tape right before mine, there's a whole category on horse medicine.
What?
Yeah.
The producers must know that though.
I was
all about horse hoo-haws.
Yeah, I was like, damn it! I would have gotten all those.
Well, on that wonderful note.
Thank you, Jen.